Hello and welcome to Comic Fights. It's Friday, which means it must be fight day. Today, we have Ultron, the replicating, almost indestructible robot, versus one of the most powerful people in the DC universe, the Green Lantern, Hal Jordan. So start with Ultron. Ultron is essentially an AI, which means he's able to transfer his consciousness into other robot bodies or into even computers. So unless you can destroy everything that basically he can send his mind into, he is nearly indestructible. And then his physical body, even if you can get to him, is made of adamantium, which is incredibly difficult to pierce. But his weakness is that even though his exterior is almost indestructible, his inside workings are, if you can get in there, are very easily damaged. So you need to either phase through, become small enough to shrink in, do something to get inside his inner workings. Offensively, not only is he really strong, but he's also able to shoot beams out of his eyes, his hands, whatever. He can shoot these blasts that are incredibly powerful. He's able to fly, he can use tractor beams to move stuff around, and he's honed the ability to control multiple bodies at once, up to hundreds of bodies. So imagine the swarm of Ultrons. So when you're fighting one, you're really fighting hundreds. Lastly, Ultron has a beam called the encephalo beam, which is able to either put people into a coma or control them or get them to tell the truth, like basically take over their mind, which if someone gets close enough to him, he can use that beam to turn the tides. So, a seemingly indestructible robot, able to replicate himself and able to move his consciousness from body to body. So you'd have to take out every single one. What could possibly stop that? So let's talk about Hal Jordan, the very first Green Lantern from the planet Earth. So Hal Jordan was a pilot who was given the power of the Green Lanterns. And the Green Lanterns is a group of people, but he is just one. And he has a Green Lantern ring, also called a power ring, which enables his willpower to manifest in either blasts of power or physical constructs made of energy. And as long as his willpower is strong enough, he can sustain these constructs and build even more powerful ones. So the more willpower you have, the stronger your constructs are. So how good is Hal Jordan at this? His blasts are so powerful that they can even stagger Superman. But his constructs aren't indestructible. So as long as he has the willpower, he can keep them up. But if his willpower wavers, or if the energy of the ring starts to lessen, his constructs will become easily destructible. Defensively, the ring can create a force field around the body that enables Green Lantern to travel through space, withstand incredible pressure, so space, black holes, stuff like that, it protects him. And it also sustains his life energy, which means he doesn't need to breathe. It kind of keeps him alive for long times and long distances. Another Green Lantern was once able to take advantage of something called the pocket universe, which exists inside the ring. That basically there's a whole world in there, which is where that energy comes from. And he was able to put someone in there. And it was so effective that the Green Lantern that did that kept them there for their entire life. And eventually the Green Lantern died or was killed, I don't know. And finally the person inside was able to exert enough willpower to escape the pocket universe. The biggest weakness of the Green Lantern is that it does need to charge. So eventually this ring is going to run out of power. He recites the oath and kind of gets power from the lantern. But he will need time to do that. So if Green Lantern is facing a horde of Ultrons, will he be able to find reprieve to charge the ring? Or will that be the moment that Ultron takes advantage? So let's take a step back and look at this fight. So if it was one Ultron, nearly indestructible, versus the Green Lantern, it would already be a tough fight, right? How can Green Lantern pierce that adamantium armor? How can he finally kill something that can move its consciousness around? But now we're talking about Ultron, who can put his mind into other bodies and have a swarm of Ultrons. This will be tough for Green Lantern. One option is he could put Ultron into that pocket dimension, right? That won't stop Ultron. It will only delay the inevitable. But during that time, maybe Green Lantern could consult with other heroes, figure out a way to actually stop Ultron. So it would provide him with that break that he might need to figure out a solution. But if Green Lantern is fighting Ultron, it might come to a point where Ultron uses that encephalo beam to either take over or take out the Green Lantern. So could Hal Jordan withstand that beam? But really all Ultron needs to do is attack, attack, attack until that ring runs out of power and Hal Jordan is defenseless. So how do you think this is going to play out? Green Lantern Hal Jordan, one of the best, versus Ultron, almost indestructible, able to replicate, and able to take over the minds of his challengers. Do you think Green Lantern has a chance? Do you think Ultron is just going to get put in that pocket dimension, put off till later, until they can figure out a way to deal with him? What do you think will happen? So sound off in the comments and let me know what future fights you want to see. See you next Friday.
You wanna fight?